March 2026 will be dangerous. Why a Jungkook x Ariana Grande song could shake the global Billboard without warning. What if March 2026 is not just another comeback season, but the moment global pop music quietly loses its balance? What if the most dangerous release of the year doesn't arrive with massive promotion, screaming headlines, or carefully staged teasers, but instead explodes into existence the moment fans press play for the first time? And what if the names behind that explosion are not unfamiliar rivals, but two of the most powerful vocal forces of their generation, Jungkook of BTS and Ariana Grande? These questions are no longer hypothetical whispers hidden inside fan forums. They are now echoing across social media timelines, music industry group chats, and analyst predictions, growing louder by the hour. Since January 1st, 2026, one rumor has refused to disappear, no matter how hard skeptics try to bury it. Ariana Grande, pop's perennial chart architect, is rumored to be featured on BTS's upcoming album scheduled for release in March 2026. But the conversation has shifted dramatically. This is no longer just about BTS. It is no longer just about Ariana. Increasingly, all signs point toward one specific axis of impact: Jungkook x Ariana Grande. And if this collaboration is real, March 2026 may not be competitive. It may be catastrophic for everyone else on the charts. The rumor ignited just one day after Big Hit Music officially confirmed BTS's long-awaited group comeback. The announcement alone was enough to send shockwaves through the global music industry. This would be BTS's first full group album since Proof in June 2022, released before the members entered mandatory military service. Nearly 4 years of absence, silence, anticipation, and speculation collapsed into a single confirmed date, March 20th, 2026. Then came the post on January 1st, 2026, an account on X, formerly known as Twitter, @SoulMerv, dropped a sentence that would instantly destabilize fandoms across continents. OMG. According to this source, Ariana Grande is rumored to feature on BTS's upcoming album, which is confirmed to be released in March. Attached was a link to a Korean entertainment source and a carefully curated collage showing Ariana Grande alongside BTS in a visually cohesive, almost suspiciously deliberate aesthetic. There was no confirmation.
No denial.
No follow-up explanation. And yet, the effect was immediate. Within minutes, timelines filled with disbelief, excitement, fear, hope, and skepticism. Armies and Arianators collided in real time, creating a digital pressure cooker of expectations. Some fans screamed excitement, convinced they had felt this moment coming for years. Others hesitated, remembering how often dreams of Western collaborations dissolve into disappointment. But one detail refused to go unnoticed, even among skeptics. If this collaboration exists, why does it feel so perfectly timed and so terrifyingly plausible? To understand why March 2026 is being described as dangerous by fans and analysts alike, one must look beyond surface-level hype and into the mechanics of global chart power. Jungkook is no longer simply the youngest member of BTS. Over the past 2 years, even while serving in the South Korean military, his name has continued to dominate global streaming conversations. His solo releases demonstrated a rare phenomenon: sustained Billboard performance without traditional Western promotion cycles. Ariana Grande, meanwhile, has never left the Billboard ecosystem. With Eternal Sunshine redefining her post-hiatus era and speculation already swirling around her next musical chapter, Ariana remains one of the few artists whose voice alone can reshape top 40 radio behavior. Her name does not merely attract listeners, it alters algorithmic gravity. So what happens when these two forces align? Industry analysts quietly suggest that a Jungkook x Ariana Grande track would not need massive promotion to debut high on the Billboard Hot 100. In fact, promotion might be irrelevant. The first-day streaming surge alone, fueled by global fandom synchronization, playlist auto-inclusion, and cross-platform virality, could push the song into the upper tier of the chart within hours of release. And that's the part no one wants to say out loud. Because if a song can debut high without promotion, it exposes a new hierarchy of power in pop music, one where traditional gatekeeping mechanisms no longer apply. This is where the anxiety begins. Some fans point to Ariana Grande's packed schedule and potential solo album release in 2026 as reasons to doubt the rumor. Others recall that Big Hit Music's official announcement made no mention of collaborations. But history suggests something else entirely. BTS has never revealed its most explosive moves in advance. Their most impactful moments often arrive quietly, almost politely, before detonating across the industry. And then there's Jungkook. Among all BTS members, Jungkook has consistently been named in speculative discussions about Western collaborations. His vocal flexibility, fluent English delivery, and pop radio-friendly tone make him uniquely positioned to bridge markets without dilution. Fans have noticed that when rumors reference a BTS member rather than the group as a whole, Jungkook's name inevitably surfaces. Why Jungkook? Why now? And why Ariana? Some fans see destiny. Others see strategy. Analysts see inevitability. What makes this rumor particularly volatile is not just the possibility of collaboration, but the symbolic implications. BTS returning after military service is already a cultural event. Ariana Grande appearing on that album would signal not just support, but alignment. A Jungkook-centered collaboration would represent a passing of an unspoken torch, one global pop generation acknowledging another as equal, and that possibility makes March 2026 feel less like a comeback and more like a reckoning. This moment, neither Big Hit Music nor Ariana Grande's team has issued any official confirmation. Silence dominates official channels. But silence, in this context, is not neutral. It is charged. Every day, without denial, allows speculation to harden into expectation. Every trending hashtag reinforces the idea that something unprecedented may be approaching. Is the music industry ready for a release that could dominate Billboard without warning? Are radio programmers prepared for a song they cannot ignore? And are other artists quietly adjusting their release schedules, just in case? Because if Jungkook and Ariana Grande truly share a track in March 2026, this will not be just another collaboration. It will be a moment that forces the industry to confront how power now operates in global pop, and the most unsettling question of all remains unanswered. What if this rumor is only the beginning? If part 1 raised a question, part 2 begins with a realization that many in the industry are reluctant to admit out loud. Something about March 2026 feels structurally different. This is not the usual comeback season where artists line up releases like chess pieces, calculating radio slots, award eligibility windows, and press cycles. This feels like a moment where the board itself may be flipped. Why else would a rumor with no official confirmation trigger such visible anxiety among music insiders? Behind closed doors, conversations have already shifted. Music journalists in the United States quietly acknowledge that if Jungkook and Ariana Grande share a track, Billboard's predictive models will struggle to keep up. The Hot 100 is designed to measure momentum, but momentum assumes gradual buildup. What happens when anticipation alone creates the surge? What happens when a song is already viral before it officially exists? This is not speculation pulled from thin air. It is rooted in data patterns that have emerged over the past 5 years, patterns largely shaped by BTS themselves. When BTS releases music, the first 24 hours do not behave like a normal chart cycle. Streaming platforms experience synchronized global spikes. Fan bases across time zones coordinate listening with military precision. And most importantly, the audience is not localized. It is planetary. Now insert Ariana Grande into that equation. Ariana's audience operates differently, but with equal force. Her listeners dominate algorithmic playlists, US radio rotations, and mainstream pop discourse. When she releases music, it does not stay within fandom boundaries. It spills into casual listeners, gym playlists, TikTok trends, and retail soundscapes. Her voice is familiar even to those who do not actively follow pop culture, so the question becomes unavoidable. If Jungkook brings the global synchronized fandom power and Ariana brings the mainstream radio gravity, where does that leave everyone else? Some analysts suggest that such a collaboration could debut within the top 3 of the Billboard Hot 100 instantly. Others go further, arguing that a #1 debut is not only possible but probable, even without traditional promotion. The logic is uncomfortable, but simple. Streaming volume alone could secure a high position. Digital sales, driven by collectors and fans eager to support the comeback, would add another layer. Airplay, even if delayed, would follow because radio does not ignore audience demand forever. This is why March 2026 is being called dangerous. Not because of conflict, but because of imbalance that in recent weeks, subtle signs have begun to surface. Fans noticed increased social media cross-engagement between ARMYs and Arianators. Old interviews resurfaced, clips where Ariana praised BTS's work ethic, moments where Jungkook expressed admiration for Western pop vocalists. None of these are new, yet suddenly they feel recontextualized, as if history itself is being reread for clues. Is this coincidence or preparation? Skeptics continue to ask why big hit music would risk overshadowing a group comeback with a high-profile Western feature. But that question misunderstands BTS's history. BTS has never feared scale. They have never retreated from moments that amplify their presence. If anything, their career has been defined by walking directly into spaces others believed were closed. And then there is Jungkook's role. Within the group dynamic, Jungkook has often been positioned as the bridge between BTS and global pop sensibilities. His solo work demonstrated an instinctive understanding of Western chart language without sacrificing identity. His voice adapts, but it does not disappear. In a collaboration with Ariana Grande, the balance would be delicate, but potentially historic. Two vocalists known for control, emotion, and range sharing a sonic space could produce something neither fandom is prepared for. This possibility fuels both excitement and fear, because collaborations of this magnitude rarely fail quietly. They either redefine expectations or collapse under their own weight. And yet, many believe this one is uniquely positioned to succeed precisely because it does not feel forced. It feels like an intersection that has been years in the making. Online, fans are already asking questions that hint at deeper anticipation. What genre would the song be? A pop ballad? An R&B infused track? A minimalist vocal showcase? Or something entirely unexpected that refuses categorization? Would the lyrics explore longing, reunion, vulnerability, or triumph? Would the song lean into emotional intimacy? Or would it aim for radio dominance? Each unanswered question adds fuel. Meanwhile, other artists are watching closely. Release calendars rumored for early 2026 are suddenly being reconsidered. Insiders suggest that labels are quietly advising artists to avoid late March altogether. No one wants to compete directly with a BTS comeback. Adding a potential Jungkook x Ariana Grande collaboration into that window transforms caution into retreat. And yet, official silence continues. Big hit music has offered no clarification. Ariana Grande's team has not denied the rumor. In the world of pop music, silence is rarely accidental. It can mean negotiations are ongoing. It can mean contracts are signed but announcements are strategically delayed. Or it can mean nothing at all. But the longer the silence stretches, the more powerful the narrative becomes. The media has begun to frame the rumor not as gossip, but as a test. A test of how much influence fandom speculation now holds. A test of whether the industry can still control narrative timing. And perhaps most dangerously, a test of whether the audience already knows the outcome before the song is ever released. What if the collaboration is confirmed tomorrow? What if it isn't confirmed until the album drops? What if it is never confirmed at all, yet the expectation alone reshapes the way March 2026 unfolds? This is where emotion enters the equation. For fans, this is not just about charts. It is about validation, connection, and the feeling of witnessing history in real time. BTS returning after years apart carries emotional weight. Jungkook stepping into a collaboration of this scale symbolizes growth, continuity, and arrival. Ariana Grande joining that moment would feel like acknowledgement from the heart of Western pop. For critics, it is a moment of reckoning. The lines between K-pop and pop, East and West, niche and mainstream, have already blurred. This collaboration would erase what remains, and for Billboard itself, the implications are profound. If a Jungkook x Ariana Grande track debuts at the top with minimal promotion, it will force a reevaluation of how success is measured. It will challenge the relevance of traditional rollout strategies. It will confirm that fandom-driven ecosystems are no longer peripheral, but central, as March 2026 approaches.